paper, like Snake, Peach, or I guess like in this case, Daisy, floaties can definitely struggle to like get in on Snake, especially like when he does like set up, you know, like a bit of a minefield, right? Already like grenade, C4, already just trying to like play like a bit of a keep away game. But that F tilt on shield, so unsafe. The dotted turnip just dealing so much damage.
And so a little bit of extra information for you being new to this region. You have not experienced Nuggetz RNG. Nuggetz getting a dot eye first and then probably multiple other weird turnips after that. We expect that. This is just how we like
This is just Nuggetz. This is just another day in, day out.
Every time he's on stream in a major, the whole crowd is like freaking out when he pulls everything in a row.
Yeah.
And all of us in New England are just like, yeah, this is Tuesday.
It's just a Tuesday. This is just another regular day of Nuggetz playing. But trying to come down with a failure, not going to be able to get it. A little bit of a back air, doesn't actually get the toss in. Nuggetz just controlling the stage, baiting out the down air, and almost actually able to get a whiff punish on it.
That was really close, but somehow Pelca able to whip punish that get up attack with an up tilt, just barely getting out of the range. And now we are seeing Pelca in a rough place, but he does get out there. Nuggetz' corner pressure, definitely one of his strongest assets. So anytime Pelca's able to escape like that, that's huge for him.
Whenever like a Peach is like in my face, float cancel, fast fall, double jump cancel, air dodge back down, terrifying. Because you just know that back air is going to be inevitable. Tries to tech chase with the turnip toss, not going to be able to get it off though. Tries to come back down, navigating above the grenades, and doing a fantastic job at that. I feel like Nuggetz has just like mitigated so much damage output, but now the question is, can you close out the stock?
And Nuggetz has really, really good movement, which is something to expect from Peach players, but he's particularly evasive. And he can go into this mode sometimes where he just simply does not get hit by anything. And I feel like that's really hard to do against Snake, maybe more so than almost anyone with how many hitboxes can be on the screen. But he's still very proficient at it. We see him doing very well in this matchup on a very regular basis.
Oh, tries to maybe call out a jump out of shield, not going to be able to find it. Just backing off a little tiny bit, maybe trying to like scout out some sort of a dash attack for him, Snake here, but playing the patient game. You have a 60% lead at this point at 50 now.
Another dot eye.
Yeah, again, and tosses it away. Tragedy.
It's fine, he'll get another one.
Inevitably, as soon as that's going to be like Nuggetz touching the ground. But notice how like Pelca just like setting up so many grenades in spots where Nuggetz would typically like to go for the turnip pulls. As a result, we're just not seeing as many as Nuggetz would like.
Exactly. It's definitely really difficult to pull turnips in this matchup because like any time you spend with both of you camping is going to go in Snake's favor unless you get a very good turnip pull or something like that. Like it's not going to be to Peach's benefit to like just sit back and pull turnips. So we're seeing Nuggetz adapt to that very well, only really pulling turnips when he's got time with Snake, you know, in the air or off stage, something like that.
Was that a side B intentional? I don't believe it was, but tries to go for an F smash because it can hit the ledge. Just a little bit too far back. Snake's ledge hang going to be unaffected by that at that point in time. Nuggetz is like not rushing the stock because you just know that Snake can easily take it too, like with an up tilt. You don't want to push in, you don't want to go in too far, but eating one big dash attack, Nuggetz just using the float.
Good.
Yes, that was fantastic.
This movement is just so strong. Gets around the Nikita. Able to use that side B. Nuggetz loves that side B.
Oh.
Yeah, Nikita there.
Yeah, but
he will use that side B more often than you might expect.
Yeah.
Although I think we all know by now that that's a pretty good move.
It's a fantastic move at that. Right, but now Nuggetz just putting on a bit of pressure. You see how Pelca just trying to use every single tool to make the landing as safe as possible. And down Bs and grenades all the way back down. Nuggetz, though, going to be coming in with the back airs, a little bit of shield pressure, not able to get anything massive started. But I feel like both of them are just opting to play the patient game at this point.
And I really like where Pelca had put that last C4 under the side of the platform. I feel like, you know, on Smash Bros, typically Snakes like to put the C4 on the platform as much as they can, control all that space. But the specific way he was doing that with the C4 under the platform, like where it is right now, for example, also very strong because he can control that top platform himself and really not give Daisy anywhere to go. And Nuggetz, to his credit, though, was just like, okay, this is a stalemate for now. Like, we're going to avoid taking as much chip damage as possible. And then he backs off. Now he pulls some turnips, and now he's going to play the long game.
Yeah, just waiting out all those Nikitas, waiting out all those grenades once again. Okay, just waiting on the ground again, and this is neither of them have approached in like a minute. They're just like playing like their own little funny projectile game on opposite sides of the stage, and it seems like Nuggetz is the one that's coming out on top, able to get the neutral air, but not the hitbox that they had initially intended on getting. One little bit of an uphill, almost gets the catch on the landing, but then that move is so active. Snake neutral air, so many hitboxes.
Yeah, I know, I'm a Brawl player. That is going to be of the game one going to Nuggetz, though. Really good job that last stock, just playing so patiently, which is what we expect from him, but just the ability to play patiently against Snake while also managing to avoid taking chip damage is incredibly impressive, and that's not something a lot of people can do very well, or something a lot of characters can do.
Yeah, I feel like that entire game, Nuggetz just seem like really confident, like with movement, because when you do have 3 grenades on the screen, like at a moment's time, when you do have Nikita to worry about, when you do have C4, I feel like Nuggetz did a fantastic job of not getting zoned out, right? Like always avoiding those grenades, mitigating as much of damage as possible, and like just being so on top of like using float, using shield, and shielding in good places too. So they will be going back to Smashville. I feel like this is like kind of an awkward stage for like the both of them. Like definitely not ideal, but you also don't want to give either of them like too much room.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is with Peach, and especially with Nuggetz, you do not want to let him have FD. He's very strong there, the character's very strong there. It takes away any advantage Snake might have against some characters. Generally, Snake does like platforms a lot in this game, and I think the single plat layout of Smashville does work well for him. I think that Bastion may be better for him in theory, but also might be better for Peach. So we kind of have to weigh the pros with the cons there.
Was that a Stitch?
Stitch edge guard, yeah.
Unable to get it off though, tries to go for another turnip toss, forces the high recovery option back onto the stage. Pelca just barely getting out and finally controls center, dashing back a little bit, setting up all these grenades, and then it be alone sometimes. His own grenade just exploding in his face.
Really good grenade play right there. And you see Nuggetz so practiced with his item game, obviously, as a Peach player. Does such a good job of like catching these grenades, throwing them back, and just sort of like deactivating these situations. That's not quite going to kill just yet, but it just keeps him safe in these situations where so many people would take so much chip damage from grenades over time.
Yep. I feel like Pelca is just like playing anti like Peach win condition, right? Just like there is never a position where Nuggetz is able to get in with a back air because of the way that he's like using a lot of the space, using a lot of these grenades, just sort of saying, you know what, worst thing, I'm gonna eat like a grab for the center stage. So just playing keep away, Nuggetz tries to go in, but the down tilt, low profiling and punishing the landing of Nair.
Yeah, it's really great spacing there from Pelca because wow, that actually killed. Nair punishes so many buttons that could be pressed there.
Yeah.
As that's a really interesting way to get out of that situation. Pelca getting quite a bit of damage off that combo. And now Nuggetz in a spot where he has the ability to take the stock with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But he's got to do it before he takes too much more damage.
But how do you actually get in close enough? And there it is. That's going to be the opening. Whiffing a side B at that range, a little bit questionable, right? Just going to be a free punish for the Nuggetz any day of the week. Turnip in hand, jumps over to Nikita, gets in a little bit closer, but that was a bit of an awkward toss. I think the best thing at that point, at that turnip toss, down tilt. Oh,
he's got a bomb. It blew him up. Not going to kill at 10%. That's a lot of damage to get Nuggetz back on almost even footing in the second stock.
Oh, nice little conversion. Only going to be the late hit, though.
It's a good grenade setup. Obviously not going to get the kill, but the percent lead does matter a lot in this matchup. We saw last game how long they spent with Nuggetz being perfectly content to wait back, be patient, and play the slow game because he had a percent lead. And now without that, he doesn't quite have that option available to him quite to the same degree.
That was like excellent. Like Pelca just used the C4 on the platform to say, hey, you're not going to be able to catch my landing. If you do, well, you're just going to be eating however much percent at that point in time. Doesn't get the neutral into the down tilt, but hey, you know what? Scare somebody into shielding. You might just get something else off at that point in time.
And Peach, a character who has, you know, some of the best tick throw setups in this game, some of the best tomahawk setups in this game, all of the above. She is secretly a grappler in a lot of ways. You know, she just has so many movement options that you have, and you have to respect so many hitboxes that can come out from those situations that you really have to just let her have those grabs once in a while.
Yeah. But okay, just dashing back onto the stage, avoiding the grenade. That was really good. That dash back just gave Nuggetz enough time to react to it, still pull a turnip, and then continue like this ledge trap. But I feel like a lot of this game is just boiling down to, yo, Nuggetz is not killing.
He is not, and it's really becoming a problem here with Snake. Over 200 on the first stock, here at 160 on the second. Does that Nair kill? It does. So we are in a pretty close third stock here now. 52% not insurmountable, but any comeback can be difficult against Snake.
Yeah.
And I really like the way Pelca rolling out of that situation. Peach down on shield is a mix-up that's heavily in her favor, no matter which character you are, pretty much, with, you know, a handful of exceptions of like Game & Watch up B, Mario up smash, something like that.
How does Nuggetz get so many dot eyes and stitches? Like, this is not okay. What is happening?
Yeah, we know. We don't think it's okay either, but we've learned to live with it because this is simply how it goes. It's been like this since Smash 4.
Oh my god, just getting just past that Nikita. Nuggetz is up to no good. With the Stitch in hand, you know, something fishy is afoot. Getting that close to Peach is so risky, but does catch the tech roll out with that up tilt. Phenomenal stuff that is going to be the stock in game 2.
And we see Pelca ending out game at 0% last stock, and Nuggetz had a Stitch in hand, which means that was a last hit game.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
last
it's
stock,
closer
last
than
hit,
it looked,
you know.
but it does go in Pelca's favor. 1-1 here. I believe this is best of 5. We're doing top 6 payout tonight, and usually payout is where we draw the line for best of 5. So, Groove, is this best of 5? Okay, cool.
So I'm thinking about this a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I feel like the pressure and the thought of Stitch kind of worked against Nuggetz. And that's just because, you know, at that point when you're at that much of a deficit, Nuggetz, I feel like, was only looking for one thing, which is, I want a Stitch combo. I'm going to sit in shield. I'm going to only hold this. I'm going to try to get that sweet spot to go. I'm going to try to get this combo off. And was only kind of looking for, like, options around that condition. And as a result, Pelca was just, like, able to chip away at the damage. I think it's like kind of like a use it or lose it kind of deal.
Right, yeah. And I think that's something that he's usually very good at.
Oh,
As I was
what
just
is
about to
going
say,
on
we
in
know
New
how
England?
often he pulls these. He does it again. But I think you'll see that, you know, in this first stock, this neutral situation, he's probably going to be more patient with it. You know, he'll hold on to it for a bit and see if he can get an opening.
Oh yeah, it's 3
But
stocks a
he
piece,
certainly
0%.
he certainly is willing to, you know, to throw it and just go for something rather than playing to that as his only win con. Whereas I think
Yeah.
last game, he knew he was in a situation where he needed that to come back into the game.
Yeah.
He didn't think he could come back without it. So that was why he played, I think, a little too focused on that, ended up losing game 2 for it.
I like the wait there, maybe just trying to scout out an air dodge. Okay, Nuggetz coming back on with a cancelled float, comes back onto the stage, sitting in shield, tries to go for rising neutral, a little bit difficult to catch Snake on his way down.
I bet that was supposed to be a float nair out of shield. That has to be pretty much frame perfect to punish in that situation.
Yeah.
And Nuggetz uses default controls.
You don't typically
fun
want
fact.
like a rising neutral out of shield. You want like
yeah,
an FC net.
exactly. Rising back air, a better out of shield option. He's under Stitch, by the way.
What?
But yeah, rising back air is a better out of shield option for Peach. When the people are not behind you, you kind of have to get those extra frames of like floating into your nair to really make it a good out of shield option against most characters.
I would love to see just like a mathematical probability of how many times Nuggetz is pulling all these stitches, and yet it does not matter. Pelca able to get the up tilt there, closing out that stock, sitting in shield, spot dodge, that down tilt. Oh, buddy, Snake can box. That thing is safe. It is disjointed. He turns it to a bit of a pancake. Devastating button.
Yeah, it was very funny to me how I think in the beginning of Snake.
What is going on?
It's just how it is.
What? That's 3 stitches over the course of 2 stocks. 4 over 2 games. What is happening?
A winky face right after. Even when he pulls normal turnips, it's not quite normal.
You're like so nonchalant about this. This should not be happening.
I've been playing against it for 6 years. 6 years.
Probability of Stitch.
I was also a Peach player in Smash 4.
Yeah.
So we used to Peach Ditto a lot. And I remember one of the times that actually there was a point where I got a Mr. Saturn shield break on him, but it was his Mr. Saturn. He was always the one who pulled those things like that. That's just like, I just accepted it, and accepted that if I wanted cool items against him, I had to catch them.
But
That's how
again,
it is.
the same situation just happening. Pelca 176%, not dying. And Nuggetz has just not been able to get in there, but how can you actually blame him? This is the difficulty of fighting against Snake. As a floaty, all of that space is covered.
And I think as he finally takes that stock there, we see one of the best things about Snake is how well he plays with stock lead. So we've talked about the percent lead being important and being relevant in this matchup, but there is maybe no one in this game as scary as Snake with a stock lead, because he just he can play so safe to the point where like he knows he can take hits that won't kill him.
Ooh.
And Grenade prevents him from a lot of the hits that will kill him. And you can just play this like game where you're like, okay, I'm super heavy. I'm not going to die to straight hits for a long time. I'm happy to just play this slow game. Ooh, misses tech though. And that is a huge swing in this game 3.
Okay, just sitting in shield a little tiny bit. Pelca finally at, you know what, a stock like disadvantage at this point in time. Nuggetz just trying to go for like the next best turnip toss. Doesn't actually combo off of the back hill. A little bit unsafe on hit and just going to be eating a Nikita to the face. Finally, Pelca takes off that second stock. Only 10% to his name at this moment in time. Nuggetz gets that toss, but not able to get anything else off of it.
And that's a pretty rough situation for Peach off stage, but if you're Nuggetz, you'll take this. You know, your last stock, you're even on a game where you were way behind early on. You get that early stock with a stage spike, and now you've even got a percent lead last stock. So now we're kind of where we were back in that game 1, where Nuggetz had like a slight percent lead last stock, and he's willing to play slow, he's willing to be patient. and he's just using his movement and using the ability of Peach to float around these hitboxes to keep himself safe from all these explosions.
Yep, and he's just like eating grenade hits in a lot of really good places too. You know, just like knowing, okay, I'm just gonna eat this, I'm gonna pull my totem, I'm still gonna be able to shield out of this. So just waiting. This is a patient, slow match on the Lilat like music.
Yeah.
You know, so a little juxtaposition there.
So nice that we get this great music without having to deal with that awful stage.
God bless. God bless.
And Nuggetz is really starting to take command here in Game 3. This is certainly not over yet, but this is getting to be a pretty dominant lead.
Just backing off a little bit, maybe trying to wait for like a dash attack. Again, just being so patient. Nuggetz is not like forcing any of these situations, but I feel like consistently Nuggetz has landed on Snake's shield when a grenade was like around.
Yeah, he's done that just like once or twice too many times in some of these stocks here, and it has certainly cost him, but he does still have a pretty noticeable lead here. 90% up, still avoiding as many of these explosions as he can. And I like that he's even willing to take the hits of the grenade itself to pull a turnip sometimes, because you know he knows that damage really doesn't add up that much compared to the explosions themselves. And it's keeping him in a good spot here, even taking a little bit of chip damage here. He's still got a noticeable lead. And he's just looking for that one opening to go in with a fair or a back air or something.
Yeah, but now that's going to be sitting at 83%, stuck at the ledge. Such a dangerous place to be. Stalling, delaying, mixing up the timing as much as possible, and makes it back to center.
So
Gets that back in, but oh wow, still going to be alive a little bit longer.
And there it is. He got the winky face to knock him far enough away from the stage. And then, for once, Nuggetz actually pulls a regular turnip, uses it to kill.
Yeah. That was like excellent spacing too, but also like considering
that movement around the explosions to first get the back air off stage was insane.
Oh yeah,
Incredible
absolutely.
Stuff there.
That was like, you know, typically speaking, not a lot of people are like capable of like punishing Snake recovery. You know, it's difficult to actually get out there. But Nuggetz was just like able to use their own like resources to like their advantage of like, dude, I don't have to commit all the way out there. I can just wait, time it, and the spacing and timing was excellent. If you air dodge, you have no more recovery tools. You're done. You're done, buddy.
You know, at that point, you know, if you're at lower percent, the only thing you can do at that point is C4 recover. But he was at such a high percent that he would have died with C4 recovery anyway. So really a checkmate situation. Really well played by Nuggetz, and we're going to go right back to small battlefields. I don't mind this. Pelca knows that he could have had that game. Certainly had a pretty controlled lead, and then lost an unfortunate stock to missing attack on a stage spike. But at the same time, I don't think Nuggetz has a problem with this either. He's certainly comfortable on this stage.
Just catching it, lead-catching it, tossing it yet again. Nuggetz' damage output looking excellent. The stock already. But the question is, can you close? First couple of games, maybe not so much. So I'm curious to see, you know, what's going to be the actual play. I love the high turnip toss. That was a lovely idea.
Yeah. And that's kind of the only thing you can do. That's the point of pressure. You don't really want to go up for an up air when you have the potential of a C4, a grenade, even an Akita that he dropped up in the sky. But you do have this huge percent lead again, and Nuggetz just trying to get this one more killing hit without taking too much damage.
Gonna look for that forward. Okay, gonna be getting that up there finally. Yep.
Okay, and Pelca playing super safe. Oh, we forgot about the C4. And now we're getting to the point where this is still a big percent lead, but you are maybe one more hit away from up tilt killing with this much rage.
Yeah, absolutely. That is just the great equalizer, you know, and that's what like makes Snake so difficult. But finally, Nuggetz able to take that first stock off. Okay, 92% on deck, so you're definitely not out of the clear in any regard. But if you can set up those edge guards, oh boy, can you time this? Does not actually go for the direct punish.
I think he was looking for an air dodge from the Cypher to the ledge, and he wanted to avoid a potential Cypher hitbox. Ooh, almost. Has to be an air dodge, not going to punish.
A little bit late.
Still a good situation for Nuggetz, though. Forced an F smash out of there. He's got a Stitch again.
I think the F smash was an excellent idea, just able to like hit slightly under the platform. Stitch in hand, big damage afoot.
And there it is.
Wow.
Does he catch it again? Yes, he does. Nuggetz with a commanding lead, up 2-1 in the set, up 3 stocks to 1, with a Stitch in hand here in Game 4.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
that like feels
rough.
bad. You know, but Stitch not actually going to be able to connect. Gets a couple of guys in back airs. I don't know if those are intentionally meant to be like FC back airs, but if I'm Nuggetz, I'm chilling. I'm hanging out. You know, I still have a 2-stock lead at this point. I got all the momentum I need. I'm chilling.
Yeah, this is a really good situation for him. Just such a dominant performance in that edge guard sequence. Really helped him get this big lead now. And it was just, there were so many elements of that, so many situations where it could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
But he was able to pick it back up. You know, every time Pelca would get around a turnip, he was there with a back air. When he'd get around a back air, there was suddenly an F smash. Just for like 30 seconds straight, was able to keep Pelca off stage or in the air. Ends up getting the stock out of it, now has a dominant lead here towards the end of this game, as the turnip would have been really cool there. Doesn't quite hit.
But okay, gets that down tilt, waiting a little tiny bit, but still coming back down with the Florida. Turnip in hand, going to be looking for a way to be able to punish Snake's landing. Pelca tries to get out of the corner. Peach's butt colliding with Grenade. Gosh.
I really love the idea there. He threw a dot eye at the shield, and he tried to side B in. I think the theory there was that the combination of dot eye, side B, and grenade might have been a shield break. So even then, even though it didn't work out, he was perfectly willing to take the risk, where the worst case scenario is he gets hit by a grenade.
Okay, that's
This
two
might
turnips. Does
Ooh,
not.
Cypher deflects it away.
We're still waiting. Pelca just like scrambling to get out of the corner, and you know what? The Cypher into the C4. Lovely little idea. 144%. You gotta be so careful.
Caught
Peach
him with
can't
some bad DI on the dash attack, but no rage, not going to kill just yet. But now Trey really just one hit away.
Just waiting a little bit, still eating another turnip now at 177% as well. Nuggetz not forcing the situation, lands safely with neutral, backs off to center stage. I mean, Pelca has just not had any space, really like the time of day to get back to center.
Yeah, it feels like he's doing an okay job. Oh, wow, grenade that he threw up into the sky is going to come down and take him out. Pelca goes out on his own terms, and Nuggetz will take it 3-1 going into winners finals, where I believe he takes